Don't have no music. Hey y'all. Hey guys, this is me, Tanisha Simpkins, with the Table Talk Radio Show. I'm your host. Today is Monday, September the 28th, I believe, 2020. I don't know which Monday it is. I think it's the fourth Monday in September. Wow, how time is flying. Next couple of days will be October. We're already in fall. I'm looking, I'm one of the people that with the in the Bible with the seasons and the nines and the tens. Hey, I'm all for it if it works. If it works, I'm all for it. So hopefully we're gonna fall into some greatness here,
Come
going
on
into
now.
this season. We're gonna reap some harvest into this season. All of those things I am hoping and wishing for, guys. It's good to see you out there in Facebook Live land, on YouTube land, and also on Table Talk Media page, guys. If you not connected with Facebook page on Table Talk Media, just look it up, Table Talk Media. Make sure you like the page. Also subscribe to YouTube, Table Talk Media. Subscribe, like, share, all of that good stuff. Welcome our host here. I have Pastor A. That's Pastor Nathan Austin. A is for Austin. And we
Hey,
have a Dr. David Doris Carr. Hello, Dr. David. How are you today?
good. And today is a good night. You pronounced my last name right. Huh? I mean, it's a good. I'm on the road tonight, boy.
it's the sweater.
Listen, I'm bad
I'm
with
gonna wear the
names.
sweater every week from now on, man.
Yeah, I'm bad with that. Last week I had a show. I was pronouncing the girl name wrong. She correct. I'm like, correct me, because I keep saying the wrong name. Let me
You know,
know.
It's
I
hard to
usually,
get
I,
A wrong. It's just A. It's hard to get A wrong.
I usually have to use a mnemonic to help people. I tell them Doris and a car. So think of like
Yeah.
someone that's named Doris and Car. So Doris Car.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, so as I was saying to everyone who's out there, now is the season when it's fall season. Fall season is also election season. Um, I got my sign in the yard, Biden, Harris. I don't know about nobody else. I actually stopped this man on the road coming from the graveyard. We had my uncle's funeral this weekend, but we was passing. I said, "Oh, he put the signs out." I said, hopefully I catch him on the way back. Then I won't have to call, and they free anyway. So then as we was coming back, I didn't see him. Then we hit the corner. I said, "Oh, there you go." We stopped. I said, "Hey, can I have one of those signs?" He was like, "Sure." So he gave us a sign, put it in the front yard. I have my Biden and Harris sign, so when all my neighbors pass by, they can see and they can have some type of word recognition. That they can go ahead and vote that way. Hey, Denise, how are you? So they can go ahead and vote that way. I have a couple more signs. I'm gonna have a whole lot of signs out there, y'all. I got a couple more that I'm gonna put out there.
I need to look for
Couple
one
for
too. I need to find one that says Republicans for Biden. Because I'm still a Republican, but I'm going for Biden, so I need it to be
they
correct.
probably have those. I'm
Oh,
sure they have
I'm
them.
sure that. I'm sure
They
they'll
have
make
the
you one of
signs,
those.
so they have the stickers. I usually do all that. You just order
I
them, give
don't.
them a
I
donation.
don't like the stickers. I don't want no
Yeah, or the
stickers. I want a sign.
magnets. They got a new magnet that came out today that said, "I paid more taxes than Trump did." That's that's on the back page. Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
that's hard.
Seven
yeah. I know.
fifty.
Right?
That's not bad at all.
Let's just
I
jump
was
right
gonna I was
into
gonna
it.
ask David how do you do that. I think David could teach us all how to pay 750.
You know what I'm saying?
Isn't it amazing? I think it was New York Times that broke this story about Trump paying $750, and then they backed it up and said he will come out and say it's fake news, but we got the receipts. So
Mm,
I'm waiting for these receipts. They're
come
gonna wait a
on,
little bit now till the story, come out a little bit. Wait to these
man.
so-called receipts that they have that proves that, it is definitely true because they announcing it anyway, that he only paid $750
I don't
in
think that's
tax.
gonna move much voters, though. I'm sorry. I just don't think it's. I don't think people care. I think he has to. Biden gonna have to focus on well, he's trying to help his buddies and not help you, and scare people, or talk about the healthcare debate, talk about how this guy's dangerous. But I really don't think I don't think people care.
You don't think so?
No, because last time he was running, he says, "Of course I gamed the system. That's called being smart." He said it out loud. He said it openly. It didn't affect any votes.
Yeah, but gaming the system and getting away with a few dollars is different than I think. But what a talking point could be is Biden just harping down on the fact that people such as him with his level of wealth should be paying more. And I think he
I don't
used
know.
that.
I don't know. I think that
everybody gains the system, so that's not going to move the needle. Everybody's trying to do that. Ain't
that's
nobody
what I was
paying.
going to say. I don't know anyone that's like, I want to pay more taxes. So I don't think that it's a smart campaign thing. I think it's something that's like in-house baseball, like, the real liberal fan base, you're going to get them, but you already had them. But, I don't think that it's going to move any voters.
Yeah. I don't know, because I feel like right now, if people had the option, if we had to vote right now, like if they say tomorrow we're voting, I believe that Biden and Harris will go in with a landslide. I believe. I just believe
we got to work, sis. We got to work. I'm saying.
I don't know if I believe that now.
I volunteered last week. I saw this poll where Trump he's closing the gap. I said, "Ooh, let me start calling." I called some people. I convinced one person. I said, "Ooh, thank you, Lord." And the person I convinced, she was a liberal. One of those people that want to do third party. I had to explain to her. I said, "Listen, a vote for anybody but Biden is going to help Trump. Period. That's what happened 4 years ago." And she goes, "Really? I didn't realize that." I said, "Yes. He is counting on you not voting for Biden." And she's like, "Okay." She's going to, we got to work. I'm just like, right now, the registration, the Democrats are behind. 4 years ago, Democrats was ahead and they still lost the state of Florida. Right now, we're behind. And I say we because I'm helping Biden out. We're behind in registration. There's a lot of work to do. I mean, I feel that, we got to leave it all on the field, y'all. We got, 5-6 weeks left. We got to make it count.
I actually agree with you, David. I agree wholeheartedly. The numbers are looking staggeringly similar to where it was in 2016 as it relates to the gap. And it's not about, because again, it's not, Biden's gonna win the popular vote again. He's gonna win it again. But it's not about the popular vote. It's about getting some of the swing states, and we're living
exactly. And all of us in Florida, we need to work. We need to reach out to people. For example, I remember sharing with my sister because Bloomberg is paying, and LeBron and a whole bunch of them. If you know some felons that need, their fees paid. Matter of fact, Tanisha, I'm gonna send it to you if you already don't have it, so you can kind of post it and stuff like that, so they can kind of vote and get their rights back. We need to do everything possible to impact those numbers and reach out to everybody to make sure they're registered.
Speaking of which, did you all see that now they're investigating Bloomberg because of this?
I ain't afraid of that.
I just thought it was excellent timing.
I think they trying to do a scare tactic, but it don't work for billionaires. Look at Robert Kraft. They tried to investigate him, and everybody was like, "Well, just apologize." And he's like, "No, screw you." He hired a whole bunch of these top attorneys. When you got money, it's different. And Bloomberg got way more money than Robert Kraft do. So it's like, you ain't scaring Bloomberg. I don't know who they think they're trying to scare, but it ain't gonna scare Bloomberg. He just put some of his top attorneys, man. Come on, now with me and you, they try to charge us. We gonna be scared, because just a couple of months of legal fees, boy. You stacking up
Months.
tens of thousands of dollars,
Couple of hours, I'm out.
tapping out, because them attorneys are expensive, man. You just do a little, they do a little something. And if it go to trial, you spending six figures.
Right.
So, I mean, so it's like, if you want a good attorney. So it's like, but with Bloomberg, Bloomberg could give $1 million. Ain't nothing. He said he was going to spend $100 million. You think he ain't going to put $10 million to embarrass them? Robert Kraft embarrassed them. They had to drop charges. They went walking with like a dog with their tail between their legs. I mean, come on, man. They trying to scare the wrong person. He ain't afraid of that.
So I know that you guys may have seen it. We've all seen the Platinum Plan. Do we want to jump into that right now?
You can.
Yeah.
Go ahead, David. I've been waiting.
Yeah, go ahead, David. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, David. Take it off. The Platinum Plan. Now, there's different things on the Platinum Plan. They started with the word opportunity. Now, a lot of folks got real mad about that, about the actual word opportunity. Some people did. I done seen 2 YouTubes. Because, folks just be sending these YouTubes. I mean, good Lord. They sending these YouTubes of all these conscious people, talking. And everybody had a problem with the word opportunity. That was, in front of the...
People get foolish sometimes. I'm sorry. I mean, look, I'm going to keep it real.
Read the opportunity.
Read it, please. Read it, please.
Achieving historic employment levels for Black Americans, as well as increasing access to capital for new business, President Trump has committed to ensuring all Black Americans to achieve the American dream. So some people felt like, you giving us the opportunity to achieve the American dream? Like as if that's something that's not what we're trying to achieve, because we already are Americans. I get that little part there. I get that part.
I don't know, man. They splitting hairs.
Now they can go extreme. However, I get that part of the wording that's put in there. The American dream, Black America. It is a Black plan. So no doubt. So it's related to Black people. But they have a problem with this word. Like, okay, so I'll give you the opportunity to increase your wealth. To be, more than what you are, to give you the opportunity, to increase capital for new business. And I want to know, how does that look like, new capital for new businesses? Me personally. But go ahead.
Let me jump in real quick. So, and everybody know, although I'm Republican, I'm no Trump fan. I'm not a Trump fan, period. But I think people are getting kind of silly. Okay, the reason why I'm voting against Trump has nothing to do with his Black agenda. Okay, to be honest with you, I believe the criminal justice reform thing that he passed was pretty good. I believe the Opportunity Zone program that he passed was also pretty good. And that's the reason why he's using the word opportunity. And if you look at, historically speaking, there has been a lack of capital for Black businesses, which is similar to what Elizabeth Warren decided to address, that Biden decided to adapt. He adopted Elizabeth Warren's plan in terms of addressing the capital gap, the gap in terms of capital when it comes up to Black and brown folks trying to get capital to start businesses. The problem with Trump is twofold. Number one, he lies a lot. So you don't know if any of what he says he's going to do. It's not the plan that's it's not the problem with the plan. The problem is, one, he lies a lot. That's proven. Two is, this guy loved dictators, and we are taking our country for granted. This guy's flirting with a third term. He gets involved with the judicial system. To be honest with you, the reason I'm voting against him has nothing to do with Black and white. The first time I voted against him was because of Black and white. I said, no, this guy's a bigot. The minute he said that thing about the Mexican, judge That's the definition of racism, to be judging someone based upon their heritage versus on the content of their character. But the second time that I'm voting against him, this time has nothing to do with that, because he does have some wins he could point to. Is because I actually like living in a free country. It's actually nice to know that your president can't get you killed, that bad mouthing your president ain't gonna get you in jail, or being his friend ain't gonna get you any favors in the judicial system. It's actually nice to be in a free system. And people are taking this for granted, this democracy that we have. And this dude is a threat to democracy. And if you don't vote, everybody that's listening, if you don't vote this guy out and you don't participate, mark my words, there will be a time where we will be just like Russia. Okay? Where it will be just like that. And this dude, man, like, we're gonna have to delete this show. I'm gonna have to come back to you. He get elected. Hey, Tanisha, delete the show. I don't want no evidence of me saying anything about him, because something mysterious might end up happening. This dude is that type of dude.
When he first presented the plan, he used the word "if you vote Republican." So he's dangling this as if he's running for president instead of running for another term. And that's critical because, we talked about this a while ago. When Trump first took office, he set a record for signing executive orders. I mean, anything he didn't want to push through, he made an executive order. And so everything in this plan that he's touting, as David says, number one, we're not sure if he's going to do it. Secondly, if he wanted to do it, he could have already done it. June 3rd, Juneteenth is on there. I remember when we was talking about Juneteenth and, Rand Paul got on the floor and just smashed it. Trump didn't speak up for it. He talks about, blacks having better engagement with the law enforcement system. Well, he just sliced God, I can't call the name of where the officers had sensitivity training. He just cut that and said it was un-American. So,
and what about the consent decrees that he eliminated, so that way the Justice Department can hold the police accountable when they do racist stuff? He got rid of the consent decrees.
Right, and HBCU, some of the things that he's touted on that, were more extensions than giving them money. Things that he's touted on that. He's cut the Perkins loan for HBC. It's just so many things that he has in this that he's already affected. The unemployment rate for blacks.
Because he said that was prosperity. Hold up now.
Listen. Hear me out with this guy.
The president is to provide a long-term funding to historically black colleges and university administration. Continues to seek immediate
defend this guy. I don't want to defend him.
No. Use the word
he did. The thing is, he did give money to the HBCU. The thing about Trump,
No, he didn't give money. See, that's the problem. He didn't give money. He took that $85 million that they were getting. That was I think it was a 3-year plan that it was a pilot program, and the clock ran out on it. And he extended it for 10 years, $85 million. And he's touting it as if, the clock ran out on it. It was something that happened under Obama's watch. It was a 3-year pilot program at $85 million. He signed the order, extending it for 10 years. That's not giving. He didn't do that. He just extended something that, believe it or not, Kamala Harris asked for. It wasn't even his idea.
I agree. So here's what I'm going to say, though.
Saying that, I'm like, come on, man.
Here's the thing about Trump, that if for some crazy reason he gets elected, which I pray to God that doesn't happen, and we can stop him from being a dictator, that'd be a huge accomplishment. The thing about Trump is he doesn't really have any principles. Anybody that gets in a room with him could convince him to do anything. You see what I'm saying? So when the presidents of the HBCUs met with him, he's so easily manipulated. All they probably had to do was compliment him a couple of times, and that was it. It worked. He's not someone that, that has any principles that he stands for or against. The only thing he stands for is Trump and power. So he's, which is why the conservative real Republicans never trusted him. And as a Republican, the reason why I really want him to be defeated is because he played around with a lot of bigotry. He and that's the reason. Rand Paul was doing very well at first and making inroads to the Black community. But the fact that Trump has won and people are saying, oh, so you can be a bigot and win? Oh, and he's strong. So now Rand Paul slammed on the brakes. Reverse. These are politicians. These people don't have any principles. It's all about what gets them elected, which is why me, in my personal opinion,
go ahead.
As a Republican, I want him to be defeated so that way other Republicans can press the brakes on Trumpism and reverse and go back to, because I feel that it hurts our party in the long run.
Don't give him no era. Ain't no Trumpism. Don't give him no Reaganism and all that. Don't give him no era. He needs to be. I don't want him in our books at all.
Oh, he in now. Whether you give to him or not. This is the era of Trump, no doubt. Whether you want to give it, this is the party of Trump. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
He don't need a historic moment, because after this is over, he needs to be arrested. He needs to be wiped out as a president that's wiped out of history. All right, that's just my thoughts, guys.
He has suggested that if he don't get reelected, he's not. You probably won't see him a lot, and that's probably true because he can't go near the other president.
I mean, yeah, he'd probably go to jail. That's why.
He can't go near the other president, so I don't know how he's going.
Vote, register everybody, everybody, please.
Right. So listen, this one here is called fairness. Now this one has fairness. I'm doing wordplay. So fairness, as demonstrated through his actions to initiate investment into opportunity zones, as well as address health disparities, wage gaps. I got a whole lot in there, and necessary education reforms. President Trump works every day. I don't know what that to advance fair and a just America for Black communities. Y'all heard my wordplay. So I do it again. His actions. He works hard every day. He put all three of them together: opportunity zones, address health disparities, wage gaps, and the necessary education reform. That he works, that he's going to be fair. I guess that's what they're saying about him. He's working every day. Him would be fair. Him would be fair to the Black race. I'm not sure what kind of plan that is to add. I don't even know what that is. To be honest with you, that's just a statement. That's not a plan. A statement saying that, hey, listen, I'm already doing enough for you guys. I'm already working hard for you guys. So just stick with me, and I just continue to do this. Now, he said the address. A lot of people feel like. Let me put this. I don't know, because some Black people, I'm okay with any neighborhood. You take care of yourself. But some people feel like it allows us to be in a better neighborhood. I'm not quite sure what he can do to put Black folks in a better neighborhood.
No, he's talking about the opportunity zone. He's talking about investment, because a lot of inner city neighborhoods do not get private capital. Businesses don't get open there. And what Tim Scott did, which I like Tim Scott. I'm sorry, I've always have. He's a Republican senator.
People in a neighborhood that if you put the investment in the neighborhood, who's in the neighborhood?
So Black folks. So let me explain. It's similar to what Nipsey did. Okay, when he opened up a store and he opened up several businesses in the inner city, because then you start to hire people in that city. The problem with a lot of the inner cities, they don't have a lot of
inner city, as we call the inner cities. I just call them a neighborhood. If we call these places, the inner city, like the Opalaka, the Carol City, well, the
The
Old Town. Well,
underinvested,
I
the
can't even include
underinvestment.
Old Town no more, or the Six Trunk, or the Pompano, or the other places. And we said we bring in people, and we saying invest. Who are the people to invest? Because we need the people, we need the neighbors in the neighborhood to be the people to invest. So if we bring all this to these neighborhoods and say we're going to do this and we're going to help this, we're going to help this business, should we start with bringing people back to the neighborhood? I'm just asking.
No. Here's my opinion. I don't have beef with this plan. The plan on paper, it's good. To be honest with you, it's just he's a liar. So you don't know if any of it is going to ever come to fruition. The
But does
plan,
it
and
already
I'll,
exist, the
ex-
plan?
I'll explain the plan, and from my point of view, the opportunity zone is something that Tim Scott started, and that Trump decided to co-sign and sign into law. But Senator Tim Scott decided to do it. So here's the benefit for it: when you get a lot of these young folks that get into trouble, that get into a lot of things they shouldn't be doing, is because there's nothing constructive that they can do. There's not a lot of employment. There's not a lot of jobs. There's not a lot of so because there's nothing there, and they need money. They say, I'm hungry, I need this, I need that. They start to hustle. They start to do some things illegal. So what investment provides is choices. If you have a legitimate way, because everybody that's in the game knows there's only two ways. It's either you end up locked up or you end up 6 feet under. And people know this, but because some of them feel like this is the only way for me to put food on my table, this is the only way for me to survive, they'll end up, they take that road. So the benefit of having investment there is so that young people could have choices. If someone could get a job to be able to provide for themselves, to be able to buy the sneakers that they want and buy the clothes that they want. They don't have to sell drugs. They don't have to do a lot of the things that they're doing because they're just not any options there. So the benefit of capital in inner city, number one, of course you will, because a lot of people could, they want to prevent people from leaving. I don't, as a capitalist, I don't think that's the right way. I think you make something attractive and that's it. Then the right people are going to want to stay, and you don't have to say, "Oh, well, won't you stay?" No, if you have investment there, you have things there. The people that lives there, with more resources, with finances, that means more taxes. If there's more taxes, that means more resources for the police department, more resources for the school. These are all resources that are going back to that local neighborhood that doesn't exist a lot of the
Here-
time.
Here's the challenge, and I still revert back to what you said, David. We had an opportunity in a small, minute way to get capital to these businesses that he's talking to, these small business, urban neighborhoods, whatever, however you want to call it. We just had that opportunity. You know what it was called? The PP loan. Small, minute as it was, they had to go back and put more money there. Why? Because who was left
Thank
out?
you.
We
Who
were
was left out?
exactly. So that's why.
Thank you.
Exactly. That's
So every
exactly
time,
why.
that's what the trust. Go back to what you're saying. It's the trust factor, because every time I'm a man of show me what you've done, not what you're going to do.
Mhm.
So if that loan, if the payroll protection loan had a rolled out in fairness, as Tanisha said, maybe this would be more believable. What we had to beat Congress down the
Come
throat
on now.
to
Come
open
on.
it back up because minority businesses could not get along, and those that got it was getting pennies on the dollar.
Come on now.
So therefore,
It ain't the plan. It's the
right,
whether we
it's
believe
the
you.
execution. It's the execution of the plan, and that's what happens. They and this is how we get duped and tricked, because we get caught up in the marvelous plan, and they execute the plan, but not for the right people.
Come on
So
now.
we need the plan in place so we can continue. That's all the payroll protection loan was. It was another way to funnel money to people who are already rich. That's all it was. Great plan, poor execution. And a lot of these things that are on this plan, even if it was
But it
even if
wasn't. The thing is, that was just to save the economy. That wasn't focused towards us.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right. But it was geared towards us. But the focus was not there. The execution was not there. So everything in this plan, I agree. There's some great things in this plan. The problem is we know from previous history that is not going to happen. And it's a carrot dangle because his opening statement was, if you were to vote Republican, not this is what I want to do for the betterment of the country. The opening statement was, if you vote Republican. That told me everything I needed to know right there. This is just a dangling carrot. This is what I will do for you if you vote. Do it now.
I can't wait to have Biden as president so I can go back to being a good Republican. I'm serious. I want to be able to oppose some of the liberal things and talk about exactly how I disagree. I can't do that because Trump is there. So the key thing for me is get Biden there so I can go back to being a good Republican and talking bad about all the Democrats. I really want to get back to that.
And I'm on the back seat of that train with you, man. I'm a fan, not to downplay what Tanisha said, but I am a fan of opportunity. I'm a fan of fairness. I'm really not a fan of just handouts, but I am a fan of opportunity. I'm a fan of I put it this way, I'm a fan of an equal playing field.
Come on.
Right.
That's what I'm a fan of.
Talking about. You got to
make it but equal playing field. I'm not this government, hand down, let's live off the I'm not that guy. I'm not that's why I couldn't swing with Bernie. Bernie, although a lot of his things were good, you understand that at some point somebody has to pay for all these things.
Come on now.
And so therefore I am a fan of forgiveness where there's forgiveness, but more importantly, I'm a fan of equal opportunity. If you make it fair for everybody, if everybody has the same level of opportunity, we'll see a change in this economy. And a lot of people that will be in the top won't just be light-skinned folks.
Right. That's true.
If you make it equal, I mean, you just take, I know we're going to go there in a minute. We take sports as an analogy. There was a time that all of these great athletes didn't have the opportunity. You couldn't be a black quarterback, couldn't play basketball. You give us an opportunity, we rise to the top.
That's right.
So if black folks had the same level of opportunity that they have in sports, America would be a totally different country.
That's right. That's right.
I believe that.
Sorry, I'm trying to put people comments out there. Thank you so much, Nancy, for always listening and supporting us. I know there's past 8 people. Thank you so much. So I don't know if I want to talk about this. This is the last one in regards to number 45. It ain't really news. It's just that his campaign manager, who lives here in Fort Lauderdale, wife called had him arrested. Well, they arrested him. She called because he was drunk and being aggressive and saying that he was going to harm himself. I'm assuming kill himself. I don't want to put no words out, but they say harm himself. So they called the police away and so forth. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's like a distraction. I don't know if he's scared some things might come out. I don't know.
Look, that dude got the hardest job. I don't even know how people work for Trump. I really don't. Because let me explain to you what happened with this guy. This guy specifically. They'll tell Trump, listen, don't do this. It's not good. He won't listen to them. He'll do what he wants. And then when it goes bad, you know what happens? He blames him.
Yeah.
He demoted the dude and then threatened to sue him.
Yeah,
that's why Omarosa got out. She said, I gotta get out while the getting is good. This guy's he doesn't listen.
They told him, look, take this. Okay, even the coronavirus. They told him, You know, as much as we want to blame his people, it was not his people's fault. They told him, they told him specifically, this is the biggest test in the history of your presidency. You need to take this virus seriously. Did he? No. He didn't take it seriously. He doesn't listen. So all my Republican friends that says, well, if we just put the right people around him and it'll be okay, this is proof that even with the right people around him, he doesn't listen.
But that's what Fauci has been saying this whole time. Like, we've been arming him with this information. He's been saying this forever. Before the Willard report came out, Fauci has been saying, listen, we've been arming him with this situation. But as David said, as soon as you put the part in there hit the fan, he threw Fauci under the bus. And Fauci is like, no, we've been telling this guy this in 2017 and 2018. We were telling this guy, we told him not to take the pandemic team down. And so he just does not listen. You're absolutely right. He doesn't listen.
Dr. Susan Rice, the way she explained it, she said, we gave them a dummy book for pandemics with color, with highlights from the Obama administration. They gave it to them. Hand to hand. I mean, the guy doesn't listen. So I don't even can imagine the amount of stress this guy is in. And, you know, so, I mean, I can't even imagine, you know.
I mean, the press secretaries, the amount of press secretaries he's run through ought to let you know, it's just hard. It takes a lot of effort and energy to just, you know, put this makeup on this pig that they're trying to keep
put lipstick on the pig.
I wanted to say something else, but I knew I would have been rude. Right. But just to deal with this person, you know.
But you know, they getting younger and younger, as you can tell, and you know, they went straight female after Spicer because because again, it's just hard to do that with a straight face. And that's what's happening, as you said, with the pandemic team. In 2017, Fauci had a whole conference about, listen, this is what's going to happen. It's going to happen. We don't know what, but all signs lead to a major pandemic if we're not careful. Right. And what did he do? He dismantled it simply because I think it was connected to Obama. That's the only reason why. Yeah. It had no rhyme or reason, but because it was connected to Obama, he was able to do what he's done. His hatred. His hatred for this black man has put us in this country. And that's why it's amazing when I hear people say, well, he's not racist. He's not this, he's not that. But all the racists support him. You know?
Right. The last rally he had, he expected a lot of people again. I think about 150 or 200 people came out, and they were all racist. They were all, you know, as they would say,
trust me. There's a lot of people. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine.
They may still feel like they support him right now, but they ain't showing their face.
That's why I'm telling you, we have to work, because there's a lot of support that he has from some people. You know, here's what I learned the other day, and oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed that I'm about to say this on the internet. So I learned that you may not be a racist, but you can still be prejudiced and like your privilege and try to keep yourself at an advantage. And here's why. And God, please protect me what I'm about to say. So I remember talking to a friend, and I consider the person a friend, and he was a birther. Okay. A birther, meaning, Obama's not born in the United States. Right. This is that the whole time. This is a white man that's married to a black woman for over 20. They have kids. They've been together for over 25 years. And so I'm like, he can't be racist, you know? So I'm thinking, he can't be racist. He's married to a black woman. They have kids, you know. He's real friendly with me. We get along, you know. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure this dude out. So one day during the primaries, you know, because I'm Republican, he's Republican, and we both voted for Ted Cruz to try to stop Trump from winning. And then I said, look, I vote for Ted Cruz. I'm cool with it, but I got a problem with you voting for Ted Cruz. And he says, what do you mean? I said, for 8 years, you talked to me about how Obama's not born in the United States. Do you know Ted Cruz is not born in the United States? He's born in Canada. So I don't get it. What's the difference? For 8 years, I heard you. I disagreed with you, but I was listening to all this crap about Obama not being. But now you come and vote with me for Ted Cruz, who we both know ain't born in. So I thought you had a problem with that. Didn't you tell me you had a problem with that? And do you know what his answer was? Well, the Constitution says that as long as your mother is a United States citizen, then it doesn't matter. I said, so what was Obama's mom? Well,
They
this
used
year,
to get in some of the states.
I said, what was Obama's mom? Even though we know he's born in Hawaii, but nevertheless, what was Obama's mom? I said, man, that racism is smelling right now, you know?
And it's funny you say that, David, because I think this plan, this projected plan, does just that, what you're saying. It is talking points for the people who don't want to be called late racist. It's giving them talking points to say, well, we are trying to do something, so I can't be racist. He is. I think this is him giving his base some talking points to say that we are trying to do something. We ain't got to do it, but this is the show that I can't be racist because, listen, although I have the power to do all this stuff by executive order, I'll put it out there to say this is what I want to do, but I couldn't get it done because they didn't vote for me.
And give you some opportunity, you know.
Right,
those words
right. And again, it's just talking points. So these are things that when they get when they get to their David type friends, they can say, well, look at this.
Right.
And the point of the matter is this. I'm about to say beloved, this is not church. But the point of the matter is that we have to be able to look beyond this, because think about what David said earlier. If you look very closely, the Trump flag is slowly replacing the Confederate flag. It's flying more than the U.S. flag. If you look through your neighborhood, this Trump flag is flying more than the American flag because it is slowly but surely becoming the Confederate flag of 2020. And if we are not careful, we will be saluting this flag.
Come on. People
this
better
is
watch
bigger
out,
than Biden. This is bigger than Kamala. I'm with David. This is about dictatorship. This is about, we're going to be bowing down to this guy.
Right.
People are taking a lot of things for granted. They're taking a lot of things for granted, like the free press, the judicial system. The two symbols of our justice symbol are a balance and it's a blindfold, which means justice should be blind. Right. But how is it blind when Trump tells them, hey, help my friend Flynn out?
It may be blind, but it's not colorblind.
Yeah, and Barr goes, exactly. It was never colorblind, but at least it was supposed to be blind for, But go help my friend Flynn out. That's never happened.
Right.
Never happened.
Not public, not as blatant as is happening now.
No, that's Obama, Clinton, the Justice Department, and the president has always been, even Bush on Comey. He charged Bush's chief of staff.
You're right.
So to show you, it's never been the way that it was. What's his name? It starts with an L. He just got out of jail a couple of years ago. He got charged by Bush's own to show you how separate it was.
Because it's supposed to be three branches of government. At least that's what I was taught in my civics class.
Come on now.
It's supposed to be three branches.
You're gonna lose this stuff. It's gonna be gone. We're gonna be like the other day. You saw what happened to that guy that usually goes against Vladimir Putin.
He died. Boom. He was gone.
He poisoned that dude.
Yeah, he gone.
In a coma.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we could be in a country.
Let me move to one more thing here. So we're talking about the Supreme Court nominees, and I was saying before we came on air, it's like the our we're basing it basically on Roe versus Wade. We're basing it on on abortion. Um, those who are for and those who are against. We make it a Republican Democrat thing when it comes to, I don't know why, abortion. We make it a Republican thing. Is you Republican if you believe in Christ, and you Democrat if you don't. That's just how they try to make it seem. So are we, or do we feel like I'm a woman? Well, yeah, I'm a woman. Do we feel like we pushed away from that idea because so many women feel like we have this right to choose. You can decide. There's so many factors when it comes to if there should be an abortion through incest, rape, or however your child may come out. Those type of factors. Um, are we putting too much emphasis? And I'll tell that to you guys. Are we putting too much emphasis when it comes to choosing a Supreme Court nominee based on abortion?
I
I
think
think actually,
both.
actually
To
disagree.
answer your question, I think that, and I know the Democrats are not going to like what I'm about to say, because they're using it right now. But the truth of the matter is, and I got to tell the truth, both parties have been manipulating the people on the abortion issue. The fact of the matter is, if you're conservative, I don't care what conservative they put on there. They're not going to change Roe v. Wade. It ain't going to happen. That's the Republicans' carrot to manipulate you to get your vote. And now the Democrat is using, oh, they're going to make abortion illegal. It's political gamesmanship. I almost don't want to tell this truth right now because I kind of want to help the Democrats defeat Trump a little bit, so I almost regret telling everyone that it's just a game that both sides are playing. Roe v. Wade, I think, is possible, but very improbable that will ever change, regardless of who's on the court. Now, what may change is Obamacare. All right, and that's something you should be afraid of, because I told a Republican buddy of mine the other day who has close family member that has pre-existing condition. I said, "What would you do if they repealed that?"
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't even think about it. There's a lot of people who are Republicans who are dependent on Obamacare, and they don't even know. Trump, you know why the Republicans cannot come to with an alternative to Obamacare? Because the Affordable Care Act was their ideal.
Right.
Obama took over 100 ideals from Republicans, and what happened is in every group there's a bit of racism. So there's a bit of racist in some white evangelicals. There's a bit of racist in some Republicans. There's a bit of racism in some Democrats. And what happened is they just stirred all the racists to be afraid because it had a black man did it. But it had so much Republican ideals. Matter of fact, Mitt Romney did it, and the Heritage Foundation was the one that encouraged most of the fabric of Obamacare.
Right.
Where we said, so that's the reason why they can't come up with an alternative, because it was a lot of their own ideals. So
that's what McCain said when he voted again. He said that's basically what he said in a nutshell. Like, we're not going to not do this because, as he didn't say those exact words, because it's the black man signing the.
That's what the problem is.
That's what it was.
Want to erase Obama. They feel like, man, because of a black man, and I keep on telling my conservative friends, I said, listen, you guys are creating Bernie Sanders. You guys are creating the crazy left, because they're looking at what you did, and they see how you guys treated Obama, and Obama was too nice. I know Republicans, I think it was Judge Dredd or something like that. He voted against his own bill because Obama brought it up. How do you vote against your own bill, the one that you wrote?
That's the character that they want to let you know they have.
And
That's their
it's
character.
funny you said that, David, because I told somebody that the other day. I said this is not about Roe v. Wade. I said exactly what you said. It's about trying to appeal Obamacare, and at this point, that's all they want to do. They don't care. This is Trump's claim to. He wants this to be his claim to fame, that he toured that.
Everything
The
is claim to fame.
fact that it's called Obamacare, is nicknamed Obamacare. If it was called Trump Care, even if it was just labeled, which is what it's called,
Care.
Affordable Health Care Act, Affordable
Right.
Care Act, it wouldn't have a problem. But he is literally, he feels that if he do this, he can erase the Obama name out of the
The history
vocabulary.
books.
This is what he really feels.
Do you guys remember? I can't remember which comedian did this to show you how racist a lot of these people. We should have foresaw Trump coming. He went out and I think it was Jimmy Fallon.
It was Jimmy Fallon.
And he went out and he basically read a whole bunch of things that's in Obamacare. And he said, "Do you support this?" They said, "Yes, yes." That's what they should have done versus that messed up Obamacare. And then, and he says, "Well, they are thinking about this, and it's called Affordable Care Act. What do you think?" They said, "I support that." And then but I don't like the Obamacare. And at the end, he revealed to them that these are actually things that's in Obamacare, and Obamacare is just a nickname. And these people were talking about how they hated Obamacare, that. And they like the Affordable Care Act.
Let the world know and be known, baby. Obamacare been working for me real good.
Come on, man.
No problem.
And that is he is hell bent, for lack of a better term, of erasing Obama off the history books to the point you don't even want to put the man picture up as if he was never there.
That's what we're gonna do for him. Remember what I just said that? And that's what I want to do for him.
And if I was Biden, I will put Obama picture up, and when I get there, I will put Obama's picture up, and I will leave Trump. I will return the favor because call it petty, but what you want. But this is what Trump wants to do. He is so before he got in office, this is his goal. Everything he's done has been targeted to go against anything that Obama has put in place, any legislation, any type of bill,
You don't even look at it. The merits of it.
I got one more thing
connected to Obama, he wants to eradicate.
All right, I want to get off 45 now. I had enough of him. I don't want to get over exhausted with him and my thoughts. We got to save him for another day. Of course, it shows his true character that a man has no integrity at all. Absolutely, Nancy. So I got this thing called, where the money at? I want to know where the money at. So just recently, big ups to Beyonce. She did what we call the Black Parade on her website. And what she did was she donated so much money, but only a certain amount of people were actually given the money. So because when they donate, sometimes they allow people to do what they want to do with the money, and sometimes they have their own restrictions. So what she did was for those others, she put them on her website to show Black businesses and so forth. And I kind of want to know, when all this money was going out, I'm putting this much money here. This person has this much grant. Essence got this much grant. These people got this much grant. I don't know nobody who got no money. And I know a lot of people, they feel like they apply, and then I don't even see where they had the opportunity to apply to this money. I keep hearing this thing, like people keep saying, I don't know if y'all hear it, because I'm half street too, and they like, it's a lot of money out there in the street. It's a lot of money out there in the street. I had to be, well, where is that? Now I ain't talking about fraud money, but where the other money at? Like, like what the money?
Where's that? Where that?
So what's up? Where the money at? Who got this money?
The fact of the matter is, it's been rough. The in terms of the PPP, they prioritize a lot of the the people who had employees, and it's really about your bank and the relationship you have with your bank. I was having a conversation with a quite successful billionaire businessman a couple of months ago, and although he's white, he's been investing a lot of his own finances in black business. And he told me at the time, he's like, he said, I don't know why Magic Johnson gave that $100 million to Congress, because the black and brown people weren't getting it. You're just giving them more money to not be successful. And he said he was going to start something with Pitbull, I believe, and for the brown and white people to try to help facilitate. So, matter of fact, speaking to you about this subject, I'm going to probably send him an email because I've been so busy working on my own business that I totally forgot about that. I said I was going to help and volunteer some time in terms of trying to help him get that money to the small businesses and stuff like that in South Florida. But the fact of the matter is, Congress has not done a good job at it. And the banking industry has never done a good job at getting capital for black and brown businesses. It's a little bit of why I decided to kind of get into it, because I know that what I do is underrepresented. There's not a lot of money there for businesses, and a lot of our businesses don't qualify. That's kind of why, and a shameless plug though, but that's why I wrote the book, 7 Things to Know About Getting Money for Your Business. So that way, people that are not eligible right now could find out, okay, what do I need to do to become eligible for funding? And that's why I wrote that book, because I said I want to be able to help people be able to get money that's currently out there. The banks, let me tell you, the banks want to lend because they make money off lending. It's not because of the goodness of their heart. It's not because they like you. It's because of the simple fact that that's how they make their money. So they have an incentive to lend. It's just that you have to be qualified so that they know that their risk is not too high.
So now the people who've been out there, hold up. The people who've been out there, they're falling off. So now the new people that's coming out there, they bring your money and bring your business. Because people are saying like, well, how are these people starting these things? Because they're new to business. So they have new economics, new income, and new scores and all that stuff here. So they're getting these loans, or they're getting these PPPs, or they're getting whatever they're getting. And then you have other people who've been there for a while who actually, a lot of them are falling off.
I'll give one tip for anybody listening here. If you are a startup business, the chances of you getting money is slim to none. But it's like, we don't know something that all the white brothers and sisters have been doing. You can purchase a business. And for business acquisition, there's money. I helped a girl buy a business. She brought it for about $400,000. She didn't have to come with the $400,000. She just needed about 20 to 30% of that. And you don't have to buy a business that expensive, but that's the once you want it, because the more money you buy it, that means they have to prove that the business could pay that $400,000 back. So that means that business that she purchased was making money. I got contacted by a friend the other day. She's like, I want to buy a business. She saw this business and it's like for $2.5 million. And she's buying it. And I said, well, is it worth it? Have you looked at the P&L statement? And she goes, yeah, that business is making money. So I know so many people who became wealthy through business acquisition and not through starting. And a lot of us, when we decide to get into business, we want to start the business. And it's just harder to get capital.
Here, and I hate to cut you off, and I'm going to ask this to Pastor A. When we think of small business, what's our mindset of a small business? Because some people, small business.
They're not talking. When they say small business, they're not talking about. Yeah, they're not.
See, most people, when they think of small business, they thinking about an entrepreneur. They're just thinking about somebody who's working for themselves. And it's interesting because for the PPP loan, they consider small business $4.99 employees or less.
Exactly. Exactly. And these people are making millions. So that's why
Right.
I want people to understand that when they think small business,
So,
the SBA
so do we
loan, they're
need
not
to,
really talking
so
about the
David,
startups.
Right.
so
Right.
David, and Pastor A, do we need to say tiny business? Y'all go ahead,
Yeah.
Pastor A.
T90 business. But I'm gonna
Right.
throw something at you, David, and I'm not gonna call names, but I am gonna throw some people under the bus.
Okay.
I've seen, so I'm a business owner and a pastor and just a citizen. So I've been able to approach this SBA and PPP loan from 3 different perspectives, right? And here's what I've been able to dissect. To David's point, they gave money to well-established businesses, churches, whatever. They didn't give much money to newer startups, but they gave money and I don't want to but I want us to mark this date because I really do believe that between SBA and PPP, we're gonna see some mass incarcerations.
Come on now.
Ooh, I had to put all
I,
that on there for that one.
Listen to
I'm
me.
Yes.
so
Listen to
glad
me.
you said that
I
because I
got
know
friends.
so many
Let him
people.
finish.
I got friends. Listen to me. This is a plot.
Mm.
I got friends, pastor friends. Anything about preachers, they talk. They like to talk to anybody who will listen. And I know the process of the loans. And I know based upon, what you have, what you're gonna get back. I think it was it
There you got.
30% of what, and I'm listening at some of the things that
That
some
they
of the
do.
monies that they receive. And I'm saying, first of all, your church is not even that big. You're not bringing in that kind of money. So if you got that kind of money, you did a lot of fraudulent work.
Come on now.
And they intentionally green lighted a lot of this stuff. Just if guys were, word on the street, man, they not checking. They not asking for base statements. Just run it through.
They running through, and this is what I need to make this announcement. So to prevent people from going to jail,
Well, it's
because
too late now. They done
someone,
did it.
Right.
I'm telling you, but I'm telling you, I know people that called, and when some of my members in my congregation called, I told them, do not do it. Hang up the phone on that person that told you that, because the way that you're supposed to calculate it is supposed to be 2.5 times your average monthly
average income,
salary
yeah.
from 2019.
Tax.
Yeah, exactly. So I said, this is such a stupid place to lie, because all they got to do is look at your payroll and see that you were lying. And when the fraud increased, it increased when Trump signed an executive order changing it to say, instead of submitting all this paperwork, you just have to sign a attestation swearing that you have the paperwork. So this is how they can come back and get you, because you swear that you have the paperwork. So instead of making you submit it like they were doing before, you just have to, there's a one sheet and you just swear that you have it. And now once you do that, you can fill it out. But if your average monthly payroll was 10,000 a month, yes, you can get 25,000.
David, we done passed that already, honey. They already done did that. So all that education about that right now, that's out the door. They done did that already.
Don't spend that money.
I think they might. I think they're gonna get a second bite at the apple, though. I think they're talking about relaunching it
Yeah,
again.
they're gonna get.
But you asked a question because I wanted to put that out there because
You didn't finish.
I'm looking at some guys and I haven't told them directly, but I'm like, bruh, you going to jail, man. These people, they're gonna get their money back through labor. They're gonna get their money back through labor. But it goes back to what David said, and all of these things are strategic because they dangled this carrot to these business owners, knowing that many of them wouldn't qualify. And so there were it's always the middle people. The people in the middle didn't get much.
Right.
Didn't get much. It was the people that shouldn't have got it, and the people they knew were lying, They got it.
They let them get them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
But you
you
know
see them
what?
with it too. You see them
Just
riding in it. You see them with the wife. You see all of that. I'm like, where all these people get all this money from? Like, y'all need to cut it out. I feel so bad. Hold up, David. I really feel bad. It's going to be a lot of people that's going to, try to do some type of negotiation. Going to be a lot of probations going on. There's going to be a lot of
Mhm.
those type of things of holding these people this money's back. You already see. I seen two people I know for a fact. They was in the paper. I was like, I knew they record company. I'm like, no, not them. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all got millions like that? Ain't but 5 of y'all in the office that I
Yeah.
know.
And this is what people don't understand the purpose of this. And, it was not really to help the small business. Okay.
Mm-mm.
It was, but listen, this was the Democrats, though. Elizabeth Warren, she said that it wanted to help employees because what happened is when Obama was doing the bailout, a lot of these businesses got the money and then they fired a whole bunch of people. So what they were trying to do was give the money contingent upon how much employees you have. So that way you have to use 75% of the money you get on payroll. The whole goal was not to help the small business, it was to help the business keep the employees.
Right.
So that's why people are not understand. This was never to help the business; it was to help the employees. So
Payroll
businesses,
protection.
exactly. So
Yeah.
businesses that had more employees are the ones that got the bulk of the money.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I think,
and it,
and another thing while we're talking about this may be a little bit reverting here in another direction, but it's a lot of hungry people out there right now. And I need people to be very careful. And I say that because it's going to be a lot of robbing and a lot
come
of
on, man.
stealing. And they're doing it right now. I know two young people and one older person already. Being one person in Texas, one person who was here in Miami. They didn't make it big, but they were robbed at a stoplight. These people are just out because they feel like you got money. Who got
Mhm.
money out there? That's the list. Who are the
Just
people
because
that
you
got money?
famous don't mean you got money.
Hmm.
Right. But sometimes, people get on these social medias, um, and throw it up in the air and do all these type of foolish things where people they looking at you who ain't got no money, like, well, we need to go sit outside their establishment and see what they got going on, or try to rob them or do all that. I mean, it's just becoming very dangerous,
Mhm.
where people are trying to steal and kill for it. So I'll say to anybody that's out there, be careful where you are. Be careful what you do. Be careful your surroundings. Be careful about what you tell people. Be careful about how much you. I know we like to look good on Facebook and Instagram. Be careful how you put your business out there, what you got going on. Be careful how you're taking pictures in front of your homes with your address, with your cars. You see your tag signs, all
Mm.
these things where people just Google certain things and find out about you. You got to be careful about who you have on display or what you're doing and how much you just
Mhm.
got going on. I'm just saying that just to be realistic out there. Please be very careful.
I was preaching a sermon the other day, and I said, sometimes when God covers you, you could be going through it and you look better than you going, and people getting jealous of you, and
Okay.
and they don't know it's because of God's favor all over you. You're going through it yourself, but you just don't look like what you're going through because
Right.
God's favor is on you, and people getting jealous. They don't know you're struggling just like them, but you got God's favor covering you, and you just look good.
Okay. Somebody gonna rob your little purse for them little $2 and stuff.
You
But
know
yeah.
what I'm
But guys, it's been real good. But like we said, just be careful out there, guys. We know that everything has opened up in South Florida at 100%. I'll say that
saying?
again, at 100%. We know that the restrictions for masks have been suspended. So that means You don't have to wear a mask. We know that,
Really?
yeah, that you
Uh,
can do a whole lot of things. Just you can just be pretty much carefree here in Florida. I won't say South Florida, but Florida in general, because it's for the whole state of Florida. But I would say this to you: still wear your mask. Still be very careful. Still be doing the things you do. We did a trial or a mock service on Sunday. Just the leaders came in to see how we would sit and be strategic and all of this here. We came up with a registration, y'all. You got to register for that service. So we had the
mm,
right amount of people, right? So but I want everybody, if you're a business, church, or whatever, just still do those practices because I don't think that it's over yet. I think
it's
they
not.
just, yeah, I don't think it is over. I think they just trying to do some type of trial and error, of what they're trying to do. But don't be the person that's the error that or in error or of the error. I don't know which word to put up in there, but don't be the
Mm,
error. Okay.
that's
All
right.
right. You guys having the last words before we head out here?
Pastor A?
I'm
All
not
right. Well,
sure.
go Houston. Hey,
I'm not
Lakers. Go
sure
ahead.
if or when COVID will ever be over. So I think, you're right. We have to use our own discretion, whether it's personal or if you operate in a church or business, whatever. Use discretion. Um, Still follow the laws of the establishment, the rules of the establishment.
Don't
That's been an
argue with people.
argument because now that this has come out, a lot of people have been arguing because some of the establishments still have the mask policy
They need to.
and it's still their right, just like wearing the proper necessary attire. So we must not allow that to get us into trouble. But just continue to be safe, continue to do what we need to do. We're long past it going away. It's unlike what our president has said. It's not going to just disappear. It's going to be here for a while. But it's I'm not totally against things opening back up. Honestly, I guess that's the capitalistic mindset of mine, David. I'm not totally
Yeah,
against.
me either.
I'm really not. I just think that when things are open, I think that just still needs to be cautious, needs to be still mentioned. I'll leave it at that. I
Yeah,
think that needs to still be relevant.
I'll second that. I'll say that, listen, just because they're opening up doesn't mean that the virus is not functioning in the same way it did before. So keep your social distancing, keep your mask. Let's wait till next year before we really can in my opinion, start to do what we did before.
Awesome, awesome, guys. Well, guys, thank you so much. Join us back here on next Monday at 7 p.m. Make sure to tell a friend to listen in. If you have any comments or any questions or any suggestions, guys, just give us an email. You can always email me. You can always DM me at Table Talk Media. On YouTube and also on the Facebook page. You can also reach out to these guys here, follow them on social media as well. And also, guys, go
Digging
ahead,
deeper,
eat.
by the way, I forgot to say that. Digging
Go
deeper is
ahead.
this Friday. My wife and I, we take some time to go over different subjects. So this Friday night, we're going to be going over a sermon that I preached last Sunday called "I Never Knew You." So it's going to talk about how you can be in religious activity but not in relationship.
Mm.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, go ahead, you and Vanya. That sounds good. All right, so I make sure that I listen and share and do all that good stuff, and also catch Pastor A on tomorrow Bible study. I always catch his Bible study afterwards. He be in it, boy. And on Wednesday his show. You do be in it. Your show on Wednesday as well, guys. You guys have a great night.
All right,
Thank
peace.
you.